We all carry a ghost. It isn't a supernatural entity hidden or live in the dark. It is far more dangerous. It is the ghost of your own history. Think about how you navigate your daily life. You carry yourself through your routine. You converse with others. You attempt to build a better future. But underneath the surface, a massive part of your consciousness is constantly looking backward. You replay that old argument from 3 years ago. You obsess over the relationship that fell apart. You agonizingly loop the mistake you made, wishing you could go back in time and change just one sentence, one action, one choice. Or perhaps you look back at a happier time in your youth, convinced that your best days are permanently behind you. Psychologists call this emotional anchoring. We anchor our minds to events that no longer exist, turning our past into a heavy cage. We become prisoners of what was, completely blind to what is today. We are breaking down the psychological machinery that chains your mind to the past, and the hard truth you need to hear to finally unlock the door and walk away. To heal the obsession with what is gone, we must first understand why the human brain refuses to let it go. In the 1920s, a brilliant psychologist named Zeigarnik made a fascinating observation while sitting in a busy restaurant. She noticed that the waiters could remember incredibly complex, uncompleted food orders perfectly, but the moment the bill was paid and the task was finished, the waiters forgot the details entirely. This discovery led to a fundamental law of human behavior known as the Zeigarnik Effect. Your brain is biologically wired to despise unfinished business when a task, project, or a relationship is left incomplete. When you don't get closure, when an apology is never given, or when a goal is cut short, your brain views it as an open loop. Because the loop is open, your mind refuses to file it away in the archives of history. Instead, it keeps the memory active, running it in the background of your mind like a heavy software application draining a phone's battery. Your brain forces you to replay the trauma, the heartbreak, or the failure, falsely believing that if you review it just one more time, you will find a missing piece and close the loop. But you cannot rewrite history by rereading it. By allowing your mind to constantly refire these old neural pathways, you aren't fixing the past. You are simply re-traumatizing yourself in the present. The second reason we stay chained to what is gone is a cognitive trap known as the sunk cost fallacy. In economics, a sunk cost is money that has already been spent and cannot be recovered. Behavioral psychology shows that humans have an intense, irrational aversion to loss. We hate the feeling of wasting our resources. Think about how this applies to your life. Why do you hold on to bitterness toward an ex-partner who mistreated you? Why do you mourn a career path that failed 10 years ago? It is because you poured your youth, your love, your energy, and your tears into those things. Your brain looks at that massive investment and whispers, if I let go now, if I accept that it's over, then all that pain was for nothing. So, to protect yourself from the reality of the loss, you stay emotionally invested. You keep mourning, keep complaining, and keep wishing. But this is the tragedy of human behavior. You cannot recover what you lost by wasting more of what you have left. Staying chained to a ghost because you spent years building it is like refusing to leave a burning house just because you paid the mortgage. The time is gone. The energy is spent. Keeping yourself miserable today will never buy back the years you lost yesterday. How do we break the chains? How do we close the open loops of our history? The Stoic philosophers gave us a radical psychological framework called Amor, Fati, which translates directly to the love of one's fate. The master Friedrich Nietzsche expanded on this, writing that his formula for human greatness is to want nothing to be different, not forward, not backward, not in all eternity, to not merely bear what is necessary, but to love it. This is what modern psychology calls radical acceptance. It is the conscious decision to stop fighting reality. To implement this defense system in your life today, you must follow 3 definitive steps. First, practice forced closure. Accept that some loops will never be closed by the outside world. The person who hurt you may never apologize. The closure you seek cannot come from them. It must be an executive decision made by you. Write down the painful memory on a physical piece of paper. Read it out loud, and then physically burn it or tear it to shreds. Signal to your brain that the bill is paid, the order is closed. Second, embrace the context shift. Stop viewing your past failures as a tragedy, and start viewing them as data. Every heartbreak, every mistake, and every lost year was a brutal, necessary lesson required to build the person you are today. You needed that dirt to grow your roots. Finally, practice temporal re-anchoring. Every time your mind drifts into the past, look down at your physical hands. Feel the weight of your feet on the floor. The past is nothing more than a memory trace stored in a physical brain that exists right now. Your only point of power, your only agency, and your only reality is the present centimeter of time. As you look at an hourglass, remember its greatest lesson. The sand that has already fallen to the bottom cannot be pulled back to the top. It is heavy, still, and unchangeable. Many people spend their entire lives staring at the bottom of their glass, weeping over the sand that has already fallen, completely ignoring the clean, open space remaining at the top. You cannot start the next chapter of your life if you keep rereading the last one. The past has no power over the present moment unless you give it your attention. Let the dead past bury its dead. Take a deep breath. Let go of the heavy anchor. If this perspective brought a sense of peace to your mind today, please hit the subscribe button, leave a comment with your personal thoughts below, and join our community. Let's leave the ghosts behind together. Until next time, take care of yourself, be kind to your mind, and remember, think better, leave better.